It has been a while. And let me tell you, it has been an adventure. And by adventure, I mean I kind of just faded away quietly into the background while still doing my normal daily chores and things that I do so that I don't lose the house. But I am back for some old videos because I did actually record a few videos while I was on hiatus. I don't know, I kind of lost my mojo for a couple months there. It was some weapons grade art block, but I'm back, I'm better than ever, and I'm ready to draw. So for this episode, am I holding it? Yeah, I'm holding it up right. Holbein Oil Pastels Student Grade. Now these are something that I actually sell at the art store that I work at. And what's more, you can buy them individually. You run out of a yellow, you don't have to buy a whole pack of 50 to get that yellow. You can just buy the yellow and keep drawing. Right there, that is a huge selling point. So we're gonna see if it's any good. I'm actually gonna cut before I get off this couch. It's a little broken and it's very hard to get off of. Let's get going. All right, voiceover time. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've actually sat down and done this that I might be a little rusty, so please bear with me. Also, it's very warm, and there is a dog in the next door yard who does not like to be quiet all the time, so I might have to do a little bit more creative cutting than usual. So anyway, we got the Holbeins here. These are lovely, lovely student grade pastels, and as you can see, I have actually used the sky blue a little. I believe it's sky blue anyway, but it is a sky blue color. I feel comfortable calling it a sky blue, even if it doesn't say sky blue on the label. I ended up using a little bit of that for a Christmas present because I've been sitting on this for a little bit. Time management is hard. Let's move on. I won't really mention what exactly was going on, that I lost, 6 or 7 months of editing, recording time. It was some personal issues, but also my computer died. A very slow and painful death. I finally got the motherboard and the CPU replaced. It was, I'm not actually sure what happened, but it just stopped cooling. And every day it just got a little bit worse, and it got to the point where I couldn't really effectively edit video on my computer because it would lag every 2 or 3 frames. It would lag for a couple of seconds, and so a 5-minute playback would actually take closer to 20 minutes. It's the wonders of technology. Sometimes I think it would be better if we could just buy a closed black box and we tell it what to do and it does it, but without all that tinkering, I think that Katie, my fiance, my lovely, lovely partner in life, the heart of my hearts, she would be very upset. She loves to tinker and optimize, and I think that she would rather die than buy a prefabbed computer. Honestly, I think she'd just walk off into the sea, and kind of maybe stepping back a little bit onto my little bit of troubles there and taking a look back at the footage that I am actually talking over, because you didn't just come here to hear me talk. You also came here to see me paint a picture, and it's going on. The eyes look a little bit out of place on that bright white sheet of paper there. It's not really doing the best impressions, shall we say, but it does chill out. You can't judge the process by an in-between piece of information. I did paint the underpainting in a green pastel. Normally, what she liked to do is actually do it in a neutral color that's gonna not really affect the mixture of the pastel on top of it. This is gonna give you the best and clearest amount of color differentiation. You don't want to get muddy. You don't want to do it with a black pastel for sure, or like a heavily staining one like a blue. Green is okay, but a yellow, or if it's a colored paper, then a white would be best. But this time, I'm a little bit silly, so I didn't do that, so I used green. It doesn't really matter so much for my style, per se, because color. The one thing that this pastel set has going for it is it's a very portrait-oriented set. It's probably half of the colors are colors that you'd find in human skin. And then the rest are very neutral, like lots of greens for the eyes, lots of blues for the eyes. It's got some yellows for the hair. Very, very neutral, very, very boring, I guess. I guess is where I'm going with this. It's kind of boring. But, you know, that's a matter of personal preference. If you like to do true color portraits, then this is definitely, like, I would recommend this set over, like, Craypaw Expressionist is the set that I grew up learning on. It was like a year ago, but that's the set that was my first set, was the Craypaw Expressionist, and I feel like the bright primary colors and the vivid shades really defined my style there. But if you're looking for some more true to life portraits and still lifes and stuff, this is going to be so much better for you. It's not such a chromatic mess of a set, and you're gonna like it quite a bit more. I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning. We are using Canson Mitant paper, just still going through that. It's a great paper. I've been using a lot of like sanded surfaces lately, so I feel like I can talk a little bit more about the difference than the last time that we spoke. This is perfect for oil pastels. You're gonna get the application of color that almost as good as on a sanded surface, but it's also not gonna chew the crap out of your pastels and wear them down faster than insert your favorite sports metaphor here, because yeah, it is a little pricier on the paper side of things. I believe my store currently sells it a 60 by 12, which is the format that I use mostly, just because I like the big, I like the detail. It's a lot more fun. So 24 pack Canson Mitant, just any color. They usually come in a range of colors. Just roll with it. It'll cost you about $30. So that works out to, oh God, math. It's too Saturday for math. But it'll work out to a little bit more than $1 per page. But what you're gonna wanna do is, instead of comparing that to like cartridge paper, you're gonna wanna compare that to a sanded paper like Pastel Matte. Pastel Matte, the 30 by 40 is about $115 when it's not on sale. We have it on sale quite often, so you're very rarely paying the full price for it. But it's 12 sheets for $115. And I'd rather just have a high quality wood pulp or cotton. What is Mitant made out of? The price is pulp dyed. So it's dyed pulp paper. So that's fine. You don't need the absorbency of cotton or the resiliency of plastic, which is what the base of the Pastel Matte is. It's like an acrylic plastic something. I don't know. I don't science very well, but the sizing is in metric. Now, I think the size is 30 by 40, which is about the same size as the Canson Mitant. This whole like metric imperial letter versus like A size, B size, it's all a mess. I really wish that we could just agree on a standard scale and just stick with it. And I wish I wouldn't have to shop for like metric frickin' photo frames at like IKEA and then like imperial frames at like Michael's, and it's a whole mess of worms. We as a community really need to step up and say enough is enough, and we need to get a handle on this. Basically what I'm saying is I have spent money on frames that I'm never going to use because I didn't realize that the measurements were just off because one was metric and one was imperial. So maybe that's on me, not shopping by measurements, just by eyeballing it. But you know, maybe we should idiot-proof the system for me and my peers, let's say. However, if you find that you do want to paint on a sanded surface, but you do not want to pay the prices of the Pastel Matte or others like it, there is one other solution. And that, my friends, is, well, there's two solutions, but they're basically the same. There is pastel ground and molding paste. These are products that Golden makes. I'm sure you can find them in other paint producers. It's an acrylic paste with actually, I'm not sure what they are. I think that it is small bits of rock, like ground granite or marble or something like that. Probably marble. It is It is just like a little bit off-white, so marble would make sense. That's what the molding paste is. The pastel ground is a little bit different. It is absorbent, so it helps oil pastels stick to it easier, for example. It also, if you're working in soft pastels, it allows the use of water a lot better. The water's going to absorb into the pastel ground and dry slowly and disperse rather than, like drip off the surface. So it's very useful. It's very good. Back to the molding paste for a second. It does come in 3 different, shall we say, textures. The first one is a fine molding paste. It's basically just a little bit of like dust mixed in. The next one is a medium molding paste. It is the texture of sand. And finally, the third one is coarse sand. So the difference between those two is probably like the size of the granules are about twice as big. So more like playground sand, and then the medium is more like beach sand. I do believe I've spoken about the molding paste before. I used it when I painted that bird for Christmas. Around Christmas time is when I put up that painting, and you can watch it. Maybe I'll link it. Maybe I'll just let you all find it yourself. I'll probably link it. It's I like helping y'all out. But anyway, this painting is just about done up, so I'm gonna leave you all to enjoy it in relative silence and maybe a little bit of music, maybe not, as I'm still finding my feet again. So we'll see once I edit this, and I will see you in the outro, folks. That wasn't so bad. Now, this is probably, I probably drew this in March, so my memory's a little bit hazy, so I'm just gonna run over a couple of the key points that I remember. So, the Holbeins, very good for traditional portrait colors. They've got a ton of skin ranges. You can do a lot with those. They've got a couple of purples. They're not as good as, say, the Mungio Gallery purples, but if they're what you have at hand, you're gonna do just fine. And at the end of the day, it's almost more about what the paper you're drawing on than actually the pastels themselves. So you want to do some nice proper skin tones, get the Holbeins. You're gonna be able to buy individuals, so it's going to be fantastic. But that's about it for me this week. I would just like to invite you all to come again next week, or maybe the week after that. I can't promise. I do have a little bit more time off of work nowadays to actually prepare things. So that's nice. I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.